welcome to the 144th installment of Tell Em Alejandro, your number one place for sports, cars, video games, fitness. If you're a man, you're here. Mr. Alejandro's about to tell him.
What you about to tell him, Alejandro?
I'm about to tell him about my New York Giants going up against the Washington Redskins in week 3 of the NFL season.
Tell him, Alejandro!
PA drinkers, all y'all out here this weekend, y'all just want to talk about Beanie and Meek and Game. And some of y'all want to talk about, oh, Trump and Hillary, they about to sit down and talk. Well, I don't want to talk about none of that stuff. I want to talk about the football I was watching this weekend, specifically Odell Beckham Jr. versus Josh Norman, Part 2, a matchup I've been dying for since last season. In my opinion, Giants, Panthers, last season, best game of the season last year. Of course, it was more important games, but that game was top notch. That game was close. It really came down to the wire. Both teams were in it, you feel me? So with this game, it was another good one, baby. The Washington Redskins were able to pull away with the victory, but we need to start off with the individual performances. Let's start off with my mans for the New York Giants. 3, 2, 1. OBJ, that's my DJ. Say OBJ, that's my DJ. Say OBJ, that's my DJ. Odell Beckham Jr. played good today. I know that he feels good about that because he's going against somebody that he dislikes. 1v1, mano y mano. Last time these cats lined up, they were scrapping on the football field. It was crazy. Unfortunately, Beckham did not come away with the victory. He did show he's capable of playing against Norman at a high level. I thought that he was going to scrape Norman crazy, but Norman held his own. We're going to get to Norman in a second. But I need to address Odell. Odell, on the sideline, he was quarreling like a little female dog. I'm tired of that. I'm a New York Giants fan, so I could keep it real with you. You understand? I'm not one of these people who's going to be out here like, oh, that's Odell. He can do whatever because I'm a fan of him in his game. Nah, I got to put you in your place. You can't be on the sideline whining and fussing and carry on like that because ultimately, it kind of looks like Josh Norman is getting in your head. You understand? I want you to win in the end because your success only helps me and my fandom. I need you to help my team win. And what you need to start doing, Odell, because talent-wise, you're top-notch, second to none. But what you need to start doing, this is your 3rd year in the NFL, it's time for you to mature. It's the same thing I was talking about with DeMarcus Cousins from basketball. It's time for you to mature. It's time for you to take on more of a leadership role. Because Odell, I don't want you to be one of them diva wide receivers. I'm not with all that. So clean up the act. Your game, A1. But your act on the sideline and all them extra antics, stop. Winning is more important. Let's talk about Josh Norman. My man Josh Norman made Jay-Z proud.
I perform like Josh Norman, I ain't normal.
He held his own against Odell Beckham Jr., but more importantly, he helped lead his team to a victory. There was one play in particular that stood out for me, actually a few plays. Josh Norman almost had a big-time interception. That would have been big. That would have been a great look for him. Unfortunately, he couldn't catch it. I felt his pain. I know he wanted that pick. That was a poor throw from Eli. We getting to Eli next. I got stuff to say about Eli. Josh Norman also had this one play where he tried to tackle Beckham. Beckham got the best of him. He mushed him like a little softy. Unfortunately, on that same play, I got a bone to pick with the referees. That same play, one of the 300-pound goons for the New York Giants, Weston, Richburg, was like, yo, I'm about to lay Josh Norman out. I got a chance to pancake him, and I'm going to do it. He ran up on Norman, ran up on his side, bow, right in the kisser. I was like, yeah, get him. Richburg, after that, decided to get in Norman's face, talk a little bit of trash. The referees gave Richburg his 2nd personal foul of the game for this action, and with the 2016 season, there's a new rule. 2 personal fouls, you ejected from a football game. Richburg got ejected for something that I expect when people are competing. Like, if we playing thumb wrestling, you feel me? I'm sitting there, I'm looking at you, I'm looking at the thumbs, and while I'm trying to beat you, I'm going to be talking trash. And if I manage to hold your thumb down for 3 seconds, you ain't going to never get to live that down, because I'm going to keep reminding you. So when Richburg gets the chance to defend one of his teammates who's been talking trash, back and forth, you understand, for more than a season now, he gets a chance to lay him out and, you know, get in his face with the helmets on and talk a little bit of trash, that should be allowed. Referees, y'all bugging. We got to talk about Eli Manning. In this game, people, I really feel like the reason why the Giants lost is because of Eli Manning and his poor decision making, specifically down the stretch. Eli Manning threw 2 interceptions, 2 costly interceptions, 1 in the red zone. Both of them interceptions had me tight. People, you gotta understand, it's Sunday. You understand? I'm being a bum on Sunday. I like being a bum on Sunday. On my tablet, I got red zone. On the big screen TV, I got the Giants versus the Redskins. I'm eating some sexy food. The last thing I need to see is to see my quarterback, the quarterback of the team that I'm rooting for, start making bad decisions. So you know I was getting tight. Eli, you gotta get it together. At the end of the day, Eli, step it up, please, performance-wise. However, leadership-wise, this is something that Beckham needs to obtain. DeMarcus Cousins, you too, mad other cat. Eli was one of the few people on the sideline talking to Beckham, calming him down, telling him, yo, we need you, da-da-da-da-da, all that team camaraderie stuff. That's what I like to see from leaders. That's what I like to see from players who are truly great. Sit that guy down, that talented player down who's wilding out for whatever reason, all right? Making himself look like a fool, damn near crying on the sideline. By the way, gotta point out, the post-game interview with Odell Beckham, me personally, I was a fan of it. Basically, Beckham was getting questioned. You know they trying to ask him, yo, did Norman bust your behind or did you work him back? And basically, Beckham was hitting him with the, I don't remember. Why do I like it so much? Because it reminds me of my man's Marshawn Lynch, baby. You know Marshawn Lynch is the king of interviews. Marshawn Lynch will hit you with them basic answers, them one-word answers, and you just can't do nothing about it. And you just want to keep asking him more questions, but he's just feeding you out like, nah, I'm just here so I don't get fined. Blah, 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 blah. I love that. Keep doing that, Beckham. Beckham, I expect to see you next time against Norman. Play a good game. Norman, I expect him to play a good game too. However, Beckham, go up. There you have it, folks. Mr. Alejandro's recap of Beckham versus Norman Part 2. I can't wait for Part 3. TA drinkers, what do y'all think about this week's game and all the other football that went down? Tell them in the comments.
Tell them.
Tonight's sexy bow tie is brought to you by Ralph Lauren. I'm looking good. I'm looking like the Prez. R.I.P. José Fernández. Tune in for more sports, cars, video games, fitness, and all that. Follow at Em Alejandro to hear my immediate reaction to live sports events, or if you want to hear me cover a certain team or topic, tell them outro music. Yeah. Yo, Giants, y'all need to feed my man's Victor Cruz more, man. Not enough targets in this game. Sterling Shepard is looking magnificent. By the way, the most interesting game this weekend for me, besides the Giants Redskins, was Eagles Steelers. I can't believe the Eagles blew the Steelers out. Let's get it. T-E-A. Woo! T-E-A. Yeah, T-E-A. And if